Hello Kiddies, welcome to Tobisonics. I hope you've all had really good weekends. We've got ourselves a new plugin to demo. It's called the MorphVerb. Is it a room? Is it a plate? Is it a chamber? Is it a hall? Is it a cathedral? It's all of them morphed into one amazing mega reverb. Let's go check it out. So we've got our usual tried and true Cubase loops, and we've gone for a little electro pop. It's like the soundtrack to like an 80s sci-fi movie, but one of those feel-good ones. You know, where monkeys can fly planes or robots have a sense of humor. We're going to start with the drums. And this particular set of tracks has 2 drum tracks. Drums A. Drums B. We'll kick it off with drums A. We've got it on the track, so we're going to want to blend in the dry wet. But for now, we'll go 100% wet. The center of this plugin, the morph bit, is this here bit. We've got plate, room, chamber, echoes, hall, cathedral, ambience, spring, and as we all know, the opposite of spring is autumn. No, it's infinite. Infinite drums? I think we have to. That might be a bit much. Let's bring that back a bit. We've got quite an electronic vibe going, so let's see if we can find something electronic-y. It's a little dark, but I quite like it. We've got a tone button here. Ooh, deep. Where are we with high and low passing? We've got this interesting display here where you're actually working on the spectrograph image, like you're the predator. You're one ugly high-pass filter. So let's start high-passing the drums. We don't want the bass in there so much. Bring the low pass. We also have a dampening function. Giving it some depth. Interesting. We've got some width from mono to ultra. It's a bit excessive, though. We can introduce a pre-delay. We can affect size. Maximum size. We can add some compression. Touch of saturation. And we can have some modulation if we want. So let's take a look at length. Okay, let's blend in the dry wet. Let's take a look at the ducking. We want a fairly short time, I think, because we've got a drum kit going through it. These are the dry drums. These are the wet drums. Right, let's bring in drums B. If we copy the same setup, so this is drums B without that reverb. Getting quite a nice contrast like that. This is with the exact same reverb. So let's see if we can create a little bit of contrast. Let's start by reducing the width. Maybe bring in the pre-delay. Touch more modulation. A little bit more saturation. Let's give it a bit more of a high pass. Bit more low pass. Maybe darken the tone. Shut up the sustain a bit. Let's move more in the direction of the plate. More room. Go for a bit more low dampening. Maybe the high, open the highs up. I'll go the other way. So let's hear the two drums without any reverb. Let's put the reverb in. So let's take a look at the marimba. Let's start by copying the drum verb over and then adapting it to place the marimba where we want it. We don't want it as wide as the drums. Let's see what happens if we push it towards the chamber. Let's make it a little brighter. Go the other way. Get some nice tone on that. If we cut the sustain a little bit because it's a series of percussive hits, I'm going to extend the pre-delay. Let's just diffuse it less. Let's see, we're not doing much at all with these high and low passes. Let's see what we can do with them. Let's see what happens with low pass. It's not too bad. Let's see what we can do with the ducking. Let's open the compression up a bit. This is the drums and marimba, with the marimba dry. Let's drop the MorphVerb on it. So let's have a listen to the synth next. So we'll put the MorphVerb on it, and again, we'll copy the original drum setting over and use it as our point of reference. So let's give it a little bit more dry wet. Let's see if we can give it some width. Maybe a bit more size. Let's see what happens when we move the morph around. Now, do we want to go brighter or darker? Quite nice there. Let's see what happens if we give it some sustain. Let's modulate this. I'll pull the pre-delay in. Let's tuck that width in a bit. I don't think we need to duck it. Let's see what happens if we dampen the highs. So this is the dry synth. This is the wet synth. So next up, the sonar effects. So we'll drop the MorphVerb on it, and again, we'll use the drums as our point of reference. So let's give it some width. There we go. The full ultra. Give it some diffusion. Let's see what we can do here. I think we've got to go towards infinite, haven't we? So because it's kind of a percussive sound, let's dial the length back a little bit so we can start to control things a bit. Have a play with tone. And that's creating a much more floaty reverb. Let's have a look at what's going on with the high-low passing. Let's loosen up the compression. Pretty short pre-delay. Let's look at this dampening a bit. So this is it dry. This is it with the reverb. Usually I wouldn't put reverb on a bass, but we'll give it a go since we're doing a demo. So I've muted the instruments. We've just got the drums. Let's have a quick listen. I think the echo setting could be interesting. Let's crank the dry wet. Let's drop it right down into mono. Let's actually go the other way of the tone. Let's just take the drums out for a second. Bit high passing. Bit low passing. Let's compress it a touch. Is the sustain. Let's have a quick play with the ducking. Short the time right out. Let's drop the drums back in for contrast. Wet drums, dry bass. Wet drums, wet bass. So this is what we started with. Then we added some MorphVerb to the drums. Using that as a reference, we then added some MorphVerb to drums B, or percussion as we're calling it. Next up, the marimba, again using drums A as our reference. Then the synth. Sonar effects. And the sub bass. Final thoughts. This control here is very intuitive. I like that a lot. The various controls, very easy to dial in. The ducking works extremely well, particularly when you balance it off against the dry wet. The saturation, for me, could probably go a bit wilder. It's almost a bit disappointing. It's actually quite sensible. Conclusion, the ability to be able to dial between the various types of reverb, to blend them, is extremely good. It makes it very, very quick to start off with one thing, use that as a point of reference, and as you saw, dial in the reverb for an entire track. That makes it very functional, very good for anybody on a budget, very good for beginners looking for a first reverb to buy, and very interesting for more advanced users who have got a stack of reverbs and they're looking for something to give them that little bit different. Very cool plugin. So we started with this. And we ended up with this. That's the MorphVerb from Muramasa Audio, care of United Plugins. This is Tobisonics. Good night and good noise, and stay safe and stay healthy.